Just on some, just trying to get a bitch introduced to it.
If you need to say anything, please. I got my mic back here.
Alright, so I'll give myself a minute. You know what I'm saying? That shit, bro. I just had to outline this shit, man. Let me know when we take it. I'm talking about, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me know when we take it.
You taking?
We take it now?
Yeah,
Or you just want to hear it out? You take one? Alright.
Yeah, whenever you're ready. You ain't got to start right now. Press on.
Yeah. And one. Shit, bro, shit, any of that shit you like, you throwing that shit there too. I just be rapping. Alright, welcome to Pickled Chronicles, episode 1. That shit go hard.
It is.
Pickled Sausage.
I was intrigued.
I'm telling you, you hear me? On this bitch, we gonna talk about everything from goddamn what's going on right now on your block to shit what happening in politics to just briefly a little bit of politics. I'm not too heavy on it myself, but you know, me and my dog here, man, we got Ice and Ben in this motherfucker, man. Can we give me your ads on your social media?
Boom, boom. At EX3 Network, y'all check it out. That's where all the podcasts is gonna be at.
That's what we get on this shit right here, man. He teaching me a lot. He gonna give me certain how to get a little YouTube and all my shit. When I'm trying to get one of these little setups here, man, this shit look nice. I ain't gonna lie.
Appreciate you, sir.
This look like so I broke into a house, I still see this shit.
Oh man, Lord.
Ain't nobody
Hold on, let me knock on wood and curse for place, man.
I don't even think this shit like plexi. Man, listen, I used to work for a furniture company, man. We had to do a whole lawyer office, like we bringing these desks and shit, man. When I mean the motherfucker watch me over my shoulder, like just put them together left and right, I was upset because she watched me sweat my ass off for damn the hour and a half putting these big heavy ass things. These bitches ain't light. Put them together, you gotta move them. You bitches heavy. The bitch ain't give me a tip, nothing. Mind you, in the lawyer's office. I feel like she was looking for a lawsuit anyway, bro. That shit be crazy. Listen. And I salute anybody working in delivery company, man. Right now it's pretty cold. Y'all give them a little break, but your ass ashy. What, usually during the summer, boy, if you never carried a sofa, 2 flights of stairs, I don't wanna hear nothing about no toothache, no label, boy. That's the most frustrating. Boy, I done had toothache. That boy, that's the hell, boy.
Yo.
Listen.
What? I had to do that with my ex-girlfriend. Son, she was giving up on her end. I was like,
Listen, and you don't, this ain't mean got nothing to do with what I was gonna talk about. That's some real shit you just throwing up on. Real friends don't care about giving you a ride to work. A friend gonna do that. Real friends, it's about time. Real friends gonna help you move. When you need to move, that's when you find out who your real friends are. I'm telling you.
People get mad at LeBron James trying to get up on a super team, nigga. If you don't get on a super team, something wrong.
If you ain't getting on a super team or building a super team around you, I'm telling you, you're bullshit. You find out who your real friends are. Fuck all that. Why I need $20 in it? You got $20 to spell. Fuck all that. You need a ride. You can get somebody to ride. Now, when you moving, you need to pack up that U-Haul. I'm telling you, that's when you find out who your real friends are.
Fact.
I'm telling you. Then you ain't saying nothing about nothing. Then you gotta be real. Hey, bro, I ain't got no money. I got a guard. I got some guards real fast, but that's all I got, man. Some $5 pieces, you feel me? But that's when you know who your dogs is. They're gonna take the time out of the day and they're gonna help you move that big ass, heavy ass sofa. Cause boy, your baby mama ain't buy shit. That bitch sitting on the couch smoking that stinking black mouth. Listen, the bitch ain't buy shit. I'm telling you. My baby mama ain't buy shit. That bitch called me trying to high for that home, both of them. You hear me? I'm telling you.
Pull the mic up closer to you.
Which one? This one here?
Yeah.
Bad. They don't even hear me talk that much shit. Boy, listen, you gonna hear me crystal clear talking shit. Y'all be rapping, man. Hey, and get him a dog, man. Listen, prices go up. I'm telling you, this shit here is nice. The prices went up to $40. I'm paying it. If I can pay it to trick, I can pay it to be somebody.
Yeah. We also offer not only podcasts, just like you are getting. We offer classes to learn video.
Which I will be taking myself. I just gotta get my money right.
Yeah. We're gonna be doing performance, so it's also an entertainment school. So we help you hold a mic correctly, make sure you got the right entertainment.
If you know anything, well, hopefully my podcast gets to the people in the know. That's what my podcast is aiming for, people in the know. And if you're in the know, and if you know who Sunny Digital is, what he built in Atlanta to get the Metro Boomers, to get Southside where they are, well, Walker Flock built Southside in the studio, but to get all of them where they are, he had a compound, sort of like what this is built like a compound. And that's what he's doing. This shit, to me, this shit is dope. And to even think that, to coincide, when I walked in, I seen all the artwork, I bought work from this actual artist from. Speaking of Booby, get your ass to my house and get your piece. You still ain't got it yet. Jay came and got his shit. You can't do shit for niggas, bro.
At Sainka, that's his name. At Sainka on Instagram.
You gotta understand. Look, boy, how many times y'all get texts, what you doing? Is that not the most aggravating shit ever? You ever got texts, what you doing, you had to figure out what you really doing?
I haven't got one of those since the 2000s when the phones edition came out.
Man,
what you doing? I don't get them no more. They either just call me or tell me what they want.
Listen, and then we got FaceTime, but don't FaceTime me. Boy, I FaceTime, I'm in the middle of eating, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm calling you back. I have no time for this. I'm calling you back.
I'm not on that wave yet.
This is why we just rapping how we rapping. You gotta understand, I met bro on some mutual shit. It's just about networking and socializing. That's why I went about Fort Myers. A lot of people here in Lee County, they're bullshit. Even in life, I don't want to fuck with bro because my people used to beef with your people. My people used to, old girl don't fuck with them because BDs and BMs and shit like that. That shit, we talk about BDs and BMs like they games.
Yep.
Like this shit sick. Like I'm infected with a BM. I ain't gonna lie, I got the BM infection. Like it's crazy because it coincides with tricholitis. And my granddaddy told me a long time ago, tricholitis ain't bad because it can start in your bones, but it can end in your bones. See, when it get in your pockets, that's when the disease is heavy. And my granddaddy said, once tricholitis get in your pockets, that's when it's heavy. If you infected with a baby mama, tricholitis tends to get to your pocket because they nag. Now my baby mama can't get a fuck thing from me. The whole chasing me not. She think my truck outside her house, she don't know where I'm at. I'm telling you, this is an undisclosed area. He might give out a location on another podcast. She have to put 2 and 3 together and bitch and get 9.
Oh goodness.
I'm telling you, listen, I'm telling you. Listen, but this Pickled Chronicles, man, this episode 1, I'm just rapping and talking shit, man. Next week I have my co-host with me this week, scheduling, aka, black people time. We gotta get things together. Today, man, we just had a little bullshit, man, and the reason why I call it Pickled Chronicles is because basically I just want to touch on like things that we know here in the hood, and every hood has a story to tell, which we chronicleize. Everybody like Fort Myers got so many stories to tell from Rodney Taylor days all the way to Veronica Shoemaker has a street. We're gonna get into that a whole nother later episode, but Veronica Shoemaker has a street. We can get into a lot of things. Fort Myers has it. That's why I call it Pickled Chronicles because Pickled sausage some hood shit. I haven't eaten pickled sausage since 2007.
I've never touched one ever in life.
But you're missing out on the hood.
No, can't touch it.
And it's a double entendre on play because we want you to understand it's Pickled Sausage Chronicles and Pickled Sausage are hood delicacies. Pig feet, shit like that. Annihilators, mumbers.
Okay, I got you on the mumbles and the annihilators.
Okay, see, but what he understands as far as
pickle
honey
feet,
bun, shit like that, shit that you know. Listen, ladies, when this has become with the 4 for 4, you can't. Well, listen.
The 4 for 4 will get you through life.
Listen, what about the best motherfucking sweet side? Well, listen, they ain't paying me so fuck the promotion. But I'm telling you, that's why I named the Pickled Sausage Chronicles just thinking every hood has a house though, and every hood has hood delicacies. And I remember we don't have pegs. My first time seeing pegs in my homeboy bike fucked me up. My homeboys used to ride on handlebars and shit. I seen pegs. Yeah, we stole them cracker shit. My first time ever seeing it, and it was my own homeboys I went to school with. I ain't tell my cousins that, but he was in the wrong and we were doing some wrong shit. Yeah. See, and back in the day, we used to do that shit. I don't see kids, like outside is different. I tell people all the time, social media is the new outside. The new outside is being on your phone, and even when it comes to justification of women and solidification, feeling great with men get on social media. They used to go in the house to see motherfuckers see damn way you clean, your edge look nice, but now you just post on social media, man, you look clean when you, and then don't wear the outfit today and tomorrow. I will have this on tomorrow. It's going to be cold tomorrow. I will wear it double up. Your bitch gonna be right underneath my face. I don't got extra jacket. You hear me? I got the ones I got, bitch, I'm from Florida, bitch. I barely got these.
Facts.
Niggas bullshit. You hear me?
Dude, I bring this bad boy out like, boom. I ain't had this in a minute.
I'm enjoying hoodie season, man. Pull over, man. Listen, I'm enjoying hoodie season. Right. Hey, listen, they sound like a teddy bear as it is. All right.
We get 2 weeks of winter.
After that, bitch, it's back to sweat on me. It's back to it. After that, boy. But like I understand what social media is like the new outside because kids these days, even on when I watch my cousins, my nephews, they play on Fortnite and they play online. I play online, and that's the new outside. I got homeboys I grew up with. I don't see them day to day, but I play with crazy on the playground NBA 2K every day. It's crazy, and that's the new outside. Women get to a point to where they feel like they'll get justified by, oh, I want to put on this outfit. My man ain't said I'm cute. I ain't got enough likes from the house today, so I can get my likes from outside. What kind of make you feel like you're justified? Which is BS. Men do the same thing. And that's why I tell people to live for social media and what people are doing now is it's BS. But if you know how to market and network yourself, if you know how to separate social media and you're actually living in life, then you'll be A-okay with it. I get a text every other day, bro, you crazy, bro, what you doing? And I just be BSing. If you see my social medias, I'm BSing because I learned to separate both. And that's the best to do. Not to get so serious here, but I'm just genuinely talking about that. And this is what we're going to get into. We're going to pick aside Chronicles, just the ins and outs of life and things like this. Like I said, this is episode 1, man. Just getting y'all an introduction on myself. Some people might not know me, some people do. My name is Michael Cole, a.k.a. Fat Boy Fresh, a.k.a. Is I the Fat One, a.k.a. Limo.
Why do they call you Fat Boy? Because it's kind of hard to just say that.
I've been fat my whole life. I've always been a fat kid my whole life. People who know me don't know me as this. I used to have an afro, no glasses, no beard. So people, man, crazy story. My bus driver tried to holler at me in the club. So I'm in the club. She swole, thick as ever. A bitch mama thick out here. So I'm at the motherfucking club and a bitch mama hollered at me. Now I'm thinking, damn, what do I know this lady from? She all up on me, giving me the auntie vibe. You feel me? So I'm kind of comfy. You feel me? Titties in the building, man. Shout out DC Young Fly 85 South Show, man. Shout out Carlos Miller, man. Titties in the building. Chico too. They sleep on Chico. But I'm looking at auntie. She giving me the vibes. She got something brown in the cup. No, she gonna fuck. This is auntie of age. I'm talking of age. She got the little stash on lip. No, she need to get that right, but she of age. She roll on. She don't give me the eyes across the room, then I end up burping up on her by the end of the night, just rapping some shit. She just, hey, don't I know you? I'm like, nah, you been watching me all night. She's like, yeah, I do know you. I want to say something. I used to try your bust. I'm like, yeah, I don't even remember all that, but you gotta understand now, the way that these ladies looking at their 40s and 50s, they look better than some of you girls in y'all 20s and 30s, boy. Some of you young women is falling off bad, y'all don't drink enough water. I had a bitch tell me the other day, she didn't drink water all day. I almost cried. I don't know how you get along with bars of soda if you can't drink water. I don't know. But it just, 2 and 2 go together. I don't understand. But it's just so crazy, man. But I didn't look like this when I was younger, bro. And I was just a little husky, fat ass kid, bro. And I got a name Fat Boy, bro, just from being a fat ass kid, Fat Mike, Mikey, whatever. Mikey eat anything. That used to be some of y'all are old enough to know that commercial. I'm 29. I was born in 1990 before Pop died. So I know a little bit of something. I remember the commercial, give it to Mikey, eat anything. Yeah. I used to get picked on all the time. Just a fat ass kid. And as I got older, man, just got into the streets and doing other shit. I used to run with a bunch of Haitians. And run around Haitians and shit, man, right here on Central and War Palm, man. Crazy, man. Shout out my boy Shoelace and Shoestring, man. Shout out my boy Zoe, man. I done knew if their name Junior, if his name Fred, if his name Jean Paul, that nigga is a Haitian. That boy is a Zoe. That nigga a Haitian. But just growing up with him, so I went from Fat Boy to Fat Boy Fresh, because when I was in the streets, if I ain't had nothing, I kept me a clean white t-shirt on every day, $5. Invest in yourself. But that's how I got the name Fat Boy Fresh, man. And just running niggas, you call me Fresh, just from different shit. As I try to put on for the big niggas. Every time you see me, I want to make sure you see I look deep. You feel me? Debonair. Trying to make sure, because you got the meme one time I see when the meme say you got the fat fresh niggas and the fat sloppy niggas. And I remember at a time when my Reeboks used to lean. I only had one pair. Them boys used to lean, bitch. I'm talking about them. Them bitches there, boy. Listen. But just going through that in the hood, man. Just going through a bunch of shit, man. And just growing up, man. You know, you get to nickname. That's why we see niggas like, hey, look, SK Killer. I'm a little BG 5K, and I'm a little. Who is you, look, man? Listen, man. You don't go somewhere, look, man. I don't know what be wrong with little Jack there, man, but I've been saying, like, I would rather run with a hood, man, because that's my nickname, what people know me as. And some people from Facebook know me as Michael Cole. Females run up on me all the time, like, Facebook friend, Michael Cole, boy, you so crazy. I'm like my shit. Share, bitch, come on. You always just been looking. You looking, oh, boy, you not even fat. Why you be picking up? Come let me hunch on you then, bitch. Y'all would be bullshit, all them extra compliments for nothing, bitch. Hey, that's funny. I seen the meme Carlos Miller posted. That shit say, "Boy, you so handsome. Well, handsome and pussy." I like that shit. That shit real. That shit real. But I learned, man, dealing with social media, man. That's what made me want to do a podcast, because I say a lot of stuff on Facebook or IG and shit. And people tell me I don't have Snapchat. I be on Snapchat, but I don't have Snapchat.
I can't do it. I can't commit over.
Every day, you
it's
need
so
to see
hard.
what I'm doing every day, every minute. I'm getting hot, I'm eating snacks, man. I go to work and I don't do nothing, bro. I am boring. I do nothing. Why do I need to upload it every day? Why? I barely know all the words to Roddy Ricch song. Why am I gonna upload the video and sing? Why?
I can't post the food. I can't.
I can do that.
Not every day though.
Y'all not finna. I said what I'm gonna start doing is posting my turkey sandwiches I'll be eating. Y'all finna start seeing what I eat every morning with oatmeal and shit. They be seeing my nice plates. I can get down on some oatmeal. They see my nice plates and shit and be like, oh, where you be at eating and shit? I be at your mammy house. At your motherfucking mammy house. You hear me? Bitch. Hey, listen, I ain't gonna lie. I went to my homeboy house for Thanksgiving just to go around that shit. His mama old. Like, he's the youngest of 6. He's 27, 28. His older sister's already 40. His mama like 65, 66 somewhere. Go to their house, food on fire, look fire. I'm like, oh, this finna be fire. Man took the first bite. Everything on the plate tastes like motherfucking mothballs. The whole house. So man, I was like, ain't this about a bitch? Boy, I'm telling you, you gotta learn. You go to old people's house, boy, they talk about white people, but your auntie don't put no seasoning in the greens because she got high blood pressure. Y'all bullshit. Go to an old person's house.
My grandma had them back.
You hear me? Hot. Now I understand that they gonna be tough. I like them, now I taste. But you gonna dip it to that hot water cornbread. That ain't that jiffy. That ain't the same shit. But that boy, you hear me? I know
that's it. That's your profile picture. Boy, that jiffy don't play.
Hey, listen, you hear me? I tell you.
And the cast iron stuff.
Hey, boy, I be telling niggas, man, that nigga ain't doing nothing fancy. They talking about the way to a woman's heart. A man's heart is for a woman to cook. That's the realest shit.
Damn skippy, boy.
And it ain't even gotta be the hottest meal ever. You can make me a chicken salad, chicken tuna fish salad. It could be just a meal every day.
Nah, I gotta have a soul food. You gotta throw down.
I fuck with the soul food, but I tell you what, I'm a simple dude to I'll eat leftovers from the day before.
Oh, I'm a big leftover guy.
I'm gonna fuck with some leftovers.
Facts.
But I know I cook myself, so I know how easy it is to get in there and whip some shit together. So for a female be like, well, I'm too tired onto this, you sure right. I can't handle these $40, my wrist hurting. Like shit like that, you too tired. I tell you what. That's what, but it's just effort and all. But I'll take some bullshit. I'll take clam chowder one night, just some soup shit like on a cold night like this. Hey, we'll eat some chill on some, and that's the easy whip together. You got some motherfuckers who just on the daily go, man, this winter's just, hey bitch, my bitch don't cook nothing. Like fucking nothing. I don't think her kids eating tonight. Boy.
Dang. Oh shit.
Hey boy, it's hard over there, boy.
Son.
Boy, my bitch can be my mama. I would got my little sister left by now. Boy, listen, when you see this podcast, you better repost my shit, bitch. I tell you, listen, boy, the worst thing ever when a bitch don't support your shit, boy. I tell you, boy.
Yo, you. I say this. You have to. There's a certain level of grind that you have to push past while people are not watching you.
Yeah.
That you can't focus on the people that are not. Yeah. Like you just have to just do it, even if it's only like 4 or 5 people do it. But it's the consistency. Most people drop off about around the 5th or 6th episode that ain't nobody watching. They'll just drop out and they'll psych themselves out. You got to push past that. Don't worry about people.
I'm here with you every week.
Yeah.
I'm here with you every week. I'm pushing through it. And what he's saying is weird, man, because I dated a chick before, man, and she was on someone to do the nail tech stuff. She wanted to do like the outlet. I was down. I'm talking about 17, 18 hours in baby class. Get down. Help no girl. And not just on some trick shit. Like, she definitely held her end up. Because some females, they think you on hand like you got a good idea. You need to be striving for your idea. Like, don't worry about that. A couple people know me from managing Hollow Tip, 10 Toes, man. Shout out Hollow Tip and Cineo, man. They got the shoes going crazy, man. Jay Black featuring Hollow Tip, the 100 Challenge right now. We will be performing the 25th. Ford Magazine Entertainment. Shout out Rochelle. But I tell Hollow Tip all the time, man. Like when it comes to being consistent and pushing shit, a lot of people ain't gonna respect that skill grind. So when I was dating the chick, I was telling her, man, you could look forward to feeling like I got a great idea, but are you striving to push this idea yourself? And I tell everybody,
you gotta be your biggest fan first. And
I tell everybody, if you're passionate about what you do, if you don't make $1 that day, it don't matter because you're passionate. So you should make progress that day. People are worried about making profit instead of progress. Pushing forward for passion, and that's what I had to learn myself. Me, myself, not to get on no more serious shit, because I'm always joking shit. People know how deep I get into talks, because I know shit is serious, but when you don't have a purpose in life, nothing to do, or a passion for anything, there's no, you're wasting air, you're in the way. You will just be a worker in forever, and that's what you want to do. No problem, let people do. Look what you guys are doing. You guys are building a foundation that you can lay bricks upon. People come here and lay bricks upon this and build. People don't think about it all the time. They just think about, oh, I ain't made a profit off this shit yet, so what am I going to make for the future? Things of that accountability. Meanwhile, it ain't about the dollar, it's about the vision. If you're trying to really push forward, But if you're just trying to make a profit, study something very, very hard. Like Warren Buffett said, don't put all your eggs in 100 baskets, put them in one and focus on that one basket. That's what you do. But in dating this chick, man, she want to do all this stuff, so she goes and does it, but then she just, oh, it's going to be hard to get a shop open up. Now the business end comes in the factor. But like I told her, like I was telling her, well, you got to think, I'm paying for videos, music sessions. Meanwhile, he's busting his butt, rapping and writing raps, coming up with ideas, and he's helping pay for shit as well. We can't just stop in the middle, because you never know how far you're going to go, and that's as far as you're going to go. You don't fail until you quit. The worst rapper ever, the worst actor ever isn't done until they said, I'm done acting. And then we don't never know where the fuck it could have been. We never know. We could have been the greatest actor of all time, the greatest.
I was having the same conversation with my girl, and I'm now getting to that point where I can actually be here and actually not tear myself from here to the phone. Because I feel like a lot of people, and you, especially what we're doing, this is entertainment. So you have to grind first, then you get paid. It ain't just like, oh, hand you a check as soon as you do the first episode, right? And I think where the problem comes in, or where it lies at, is because you're sitting down. I wouldn't really consider this work. But to them, you sitting in that chair and you may be getting money from sponsorships off this show. You might be getting money off just the views or wherever you're getting your money from. Most people can't fathom you sitting on your ass and you just talking into a mic and you making money.
And that's why I'm on this shit now. Because people tell me as much as I talk and shit I talk, I should be doing something with it and making money.
Fact.
But you can't tell nobody, well, I'm finna sit in front of some cameras and make, I ain't see that. And what a podcast is now, I was in a point to I'm like, why fuck do a podcast? I don't care nothing about it. I enjoy the Joe Rogans, the Joe Buttons. I listen to Joey Diaz podcast. I listen to
all of them.
Yeah, I listen to Drink Champs. I'm on 100 different. I listen to an old Mafia Boss podcast. I listen to Murder Mystery. I just love podcasts, and I never thought that I liked it like that until I got to a point where when I was doing deliveries and driving trucks, I like sports talk radio. Dan Levitar's the reason why I got the podcast, and I just looked him up and seen Joe Budden one day. I'm like, all right, fuck it, he had Ty Dolla $ign featured in the caption. I'm like, oh, well, let me just listen to the interview. Just listening and locking in on it, man. I just got locked in on podcasts and paying attention, but now it just had me like, damn, overwhelmed. Do I want to put a podcast out now because there's a million of them, people starting new and everything? Like, Walmart has 100 different brands of bread. They still also have great value. Even though you come to their store, there's 100. You can go for Nature's Own, whatever, but then there's also smaller brands right next to it. So there's going to be competition regardless. It's just which your niche you stick out to. And I feel that even with the name Pickled Chronicles, that's sticking me somewhere else already. Instead of someone being like, oh, he's this, he's that, and that's what we know him at. But then, like I said, I know there's a lot of people that'll tell you, oh, bro, don't nobody want to hear that podcast. Don't nobody hear y'all sit around and talk. You got to think, there's people in California, Wyoming. I hope this reaches everywhere. I'm saying to my people that I know back in Texas, Arkansas, Detroit, people I know from around the way. My cousin over there in Germany and Army and shit.
Yeah, they like to see what you're doing.
Yeah, and just to hear me talk, man, it's people who just like to hear me talk like this, man, because shit, I'm from Florida. They don't know when we talk like this, and they think everybody look like Kodak and everybody look like the same shit or Rick Ross. And nigga, you hear me? And then I got a different perspective. I grew up in the hood. My mom's white, my dad's black. I grew up with the same struggles everybody else did. I feel like my ass whoopings was a little worse than y'all ass whoopings.
Hell no. I'm 1987. I'm in Georgia.
Oh no, okay. Man. My mama white, man.
Whooping.
Them ass whoopings was a little leftover racism left, man. Like that shit. Like, I feel like my mom used to whoop me for reparations type shit.
Nah. My mom really like. It's literally to some shit like. Not to go down some trouble past, but it's literally to I don't have
Chronicles, man. Tell your motherfucking story, man.
I don't really have a relationship with my mom like that.
Yeah.
So
And you know what, man? And like I said, Pickled Chronicles, we go from left to right. The pendulum switches quick. And I just throw subjects around or go and tell them, but I know a couple people who grew up the same way, and it's not necessarily mom was a piece of shit or this and that.
No, I still love her.
Yeah, I got a homegirl who just had a bad situation. Like she had of all her sisters and shit, like all 3 of her sisters were touched on by a boyfriend of the mom's, and they had a problem, and they just spiteful. And it's not that they hate mom; they just don't even trust the mom around their girls or boys. And it is crazy just knowing my friend, like she was open with me about that. I'm like, damn, bro, that's crazy. Like, and my sister has a similar story. Like, I had gotten into an incident with my uncle before because my uncle was like sleeping on my sister for me. I'm like, how the fuck is you sleeping on my sister? Like, what the fuck? But he's my stepdad's uncle, whatever. So we brought him in. And just a situation, so that's an everyday thing. So necessarily, when people tell you me and my mom ain't that good, it ain't necessarily that. Some people don't feel like with their mama bought a lease. I done seen some shit in the hood, boy. Pickled, Chronicles, boy. I done seen some shit.
My mom stopped talking. Now, this is literally real story. My mom literally stopped talking about auntie because she didn't offer her the house before she offered it to somebody else.
Meanwhile, when she came for the house, she might have wanted it for $250, and that bitch gonna buy it for $350.
Maybe. I never got the full story, but you still get mad at your family for she got it quick.
Yeah.
You snooze, you lose. That's the name of the game.
And family be the first to fuck you, boy. Family be the first to fuck, boy. Listen, family be the first to fuck you, boy. I done had somebody tell me, hey, call me, I'm gonna pay this, I'm gonna pay this. People calling me months later, hey, Mr. Cole. They're like, whoa, hey, Cole, you said you gonna pay this. Yeah, cause I had this and that. Tell me that first and let me take care of it so it don't look bad on me. And then you worry about paying me back at least so I don't look bad. But family be the first to fuck you though. And that's damn in any situation, man. That's why family, when people like blood thicker than water, motherfucking cheese is thicker than lettuce. I don't give a fuck about none of that shit y'all
I don't know where that makes sense at.
But bitch, it makes sense. You hear me? I told you, boy, but listen, I ain't even got to damn bullshit I want to talk about or nothing.
You said cheese thicker than lettuce.
Yeah, but they be blood thicker than water. Hey, Fab said some real shit on that Soul Tech, man, or some segments I want to do, not to piggyback off Joe Budden, a lot of things to do, sleeper section, kind of want to put on even mainstream, even old school, it don't matter. Put you on some of my favorite rappers. I tell people all the time my favorite rapper, the Big Crits, I love Pimp C, Schoolboy Q, Walker Flocka, Eminem. I definitely tell motherfuckers like Iceberg, Trick that. My list of like top five, is totally different. Eminem's top 10, the reason why I won't give it 1 is just because you can't give a white man something black people created it well. But he dropped the album Friday, that is fucking
That's
amazing.
Deep.
Only reason because.
Wait, now you hold on.
And I'm there.
Hold up.
And I'm there with it.
There was some skippables on that.
Yes,
Kamikaze was way better than
Kamikaze rapping wise was a lot better, but that music, the Murder Tube, like he got into that. Oh, this what y'all want? Get this shit. And I'm finna do what the fuck I want. And I liked it because that last song with Slaughterhouse Show. Oh, this is what I want to do.
Yeah.
And I like that. That Trader Joe line was fucking amazing.
Facts.
I love that shit. That shit was amazing. But just hearing Eminem, I remember getting picked on for walking around. Nigga, man, what you listen to? I don't listen to this shit to those same homeboys years later. Hey, boy, that Crockett Eminem the fucking truth. 8 Mile came out. My homeboys was like, bro, this Crockett is the fucking truth. Like, I'm more rock and roll influenced my whole life because I didn't listen to hip hop till I was 6 years old.
Same.
When Pop died.
Same.
Because my first words my mama telling me was, I don't love these hoes. My uncle was a Snoop Dogg fan and my mama would whoop my ass. I wouldn't let him listen to shit. See, I'm from the hood, like, we were trying to get Jimmy G. Like, I'm outside the house on the car and we tell ready to put Lumen 4 trying to get Jimmy G to play in the house. I'm from that type of shit. 919 Dream Team radio shit. Like, I'm come from them areas where when the hood was like, I'm talking about all day, all night, they playing slow jams in the middle of the day type shit. And just coming from that shit, I never got exposed to music real early when I did. My uncle did. That's why I probably have a huge, I love music so much. I bust and sweats talking about it.
Same.
I love it. That's why I had to start doing something. I love music so much that Hollow, maybe he's the one that pulled me into the manager shit. He's like, bro, you're gonna be my manager, but I'm the manager, the A&R, the consoler, the advisor, bro, the producer. I just don't make beats. That's it. When I run people like, you producer, you don't make beats. I'm a producer. I'll tell you, put this verse first, put that person on there, I'll A&R, and learning these titles in this music industry, learning how I can get multiple hats and get multiple checks. That's how people meet. That's what I'm learning the gist of it. When I learn the ins and outs, get my paperwork together, and I start executing, I'm trying to build Belichick this shit.
Yep.
Game plan for we can execute. Motherfuckers just be on some, put your music on sound, go ahead, put that great art out because it needs to be heard and seen, beautiful. But now how are you going to monetize off of it?
Right.
You
Most of them stay in the studio a lot of times. I'm
and
trying to get a lot of people to get out.
And I, that too. And
they stay in the studio all day, and that's great. That's great. You making good music, but it's gonna stay great music
unless
behind
you got somebody
closed doors.
like a Karen Silver, a Paul Rosenberg, Eminem's Rainwater, Yellow Beezy manager, like certain managers. Unless you got one of them who are gonna put your shit out there and push it, take the dope and go. That's why I'm following them and learning their steps, so I can take all the dope and go. Let me take it to the next block. Because if you want to be in the studio, good. Let me be Cortez. You could be Wayne, let me be Cortez, and let me break your music and take it to the next bitch. Now this we gonna do. We don't rape him for this. He don't want to come out the studio. Don't worry about it. We done raped him. Fuck him. We took all the music he got. Now we got 30 projects to go ahead and sell for the next 10 years.
Boom.
But the artists get frustrated. I got a new song I want you to put out. I deal with this hollow. Bitch, you know I hate this shit. I deal with this trash ass nigga every day telling me, bro, this song finna be cat. And he know he makes pretty decent music. He's getting better by telling him they're trash. You're not better than Starlito. My favorite rapper is Starlito. And I think Starlito is probably the greatest rapper to fucking touch him. Like when I hear him rap, he doesn't change his flow. He doesn't change how he raps on damn song. And he can keep up with the best of the best. And he's getting money just like your favorite rapper. And when I found out that he was credited on the Carter 1, Carter 2, and Like Father, Like Son, Tremaine, shoot, it fucked my head up. I said, wow, those are some of my favorite albums of all times. And I go back and look at the videos and see a man with braids like, that's fucking Star. Man, and it blew my mind. Meanwhile, I became a Starlito fan when he was All-Star. And I used to be right here on Central selling dope in 2006. I was a bad ass shit, but just listen to that cocaine and champagne crazy. I listened to the dude years ago when I went to Arkansas and I heard Starlito. I don't know that, but I heard it from him. No, that's All-Star. He could put me on point. But I tell Hollow every day until you want to start Lito's level to where you're making just as much money off your merchandise as you're making off your music. That's where it matters, because now you're not just an artist, you're a product. And now with you being a product, I can sell you wherever. That's why I tell people Lil Yachty has more money than a lot of these rappers, because he's a product that's been sold to Sprite, Nautica, Reebok. He has so many endorsements, it's ridiculous. People argue down because they see such and such here, or they see this nigga there. I understand. And for Young Boy to be the most streamed person on YouTube, he's not fucking with a Taylor Swift. That cracker got so much money because she sells so much merchandise. But she's fighting a big fight right now for all artists against Crazy. Her record label's called Big Machine. But she's fighting that because they won't let her monetize off her music. She even tried to record live audio and sell it back on iTunes like that. They cease and desist everything. That's a fight that people don't care. The nigga that's putting his music out on SoundCloud, the nigga downstairs recording right now, who I don't know who downstairs, somebody's all recording this bitch. He's not thinking about that fight that Taylor Swift is fighting because it's Taylor Swift. But she's fighting for the music label. What 2 Live Crew and Luther Campbell did, what they did when they beat the feds on the Freedom of Act speech and all that bullshit, when they did that, I don't mean to call it BS, but when they did that, they did it for country artists. They did that for rock artists. They did that before Nirvana dropped their debut album. So if they never had that, when Nirvana had made mainstream, we never know who opens up the pendulum for the next person. We never know. That's why when I hear a lot of people talking about, oh, I don't care about this, and like Hollow's like that, he want to be in the wrong care about that. I said, bro, but if you're not going to care, you need somebody around you to put you on point so you do care, or you at least know about it. Because if not, then you're going to fall in the wrong footsteps. I'm watching interviews after interviews. My favorite new podcast though is DJ Scream and Big Bang. That No Cap Radio. That's my new shit. What that Rich on the Quan interview they put out yesterday was really, really nice. They put out different shit, man. It's crazy. I've been on Big Bang for a minute because he DT duct tape on. I've been listening for Trouble and shit, man. And, I'm listening because I'm a big Bankroll Fresh fan. I used to love Bankroll Fresh like more for recipe long live Bankroll Fresh. But watching their podcast and watching Rich Homie talk about certain shit, my artists ain't, how long you gonna sit there and listen to that? See, like, they ain't gonna watch the interviews. They might watch a clip and be like, oh, he did this. Now that I be putting them on that show where I get a lot of knowledge from, now they're intrigued with watching their favorite artist do an interview.
Right.
Then, bro, be on some, hey, man, I said, da-da-da. Yeah, man, you talking that shit. I've been seeing an interview 3 weeks ago. I'm watching 4 hours of Joe Budden every week. Just because the man is dropping. He's smart. To the left of him is to the left is Roy, who was a exec at Sony since he was 21, 22. Then you got to the right of him, Maul, whose brother's Kareem Burks, who created fucking the Dynasty. Right. Like, they created fucking Rockefeller. Like, knowing that type of shit. But if people tell me, I ain't listening to Joe Budden podcast, hey, Joe Budden ain't, listen to the gems he's dropping. Like, if you're not even a Drake fan, listen to a Drake album. Listen to how he curates his playlist. Listen to how he does certain shit. Because some people be like, oh, I ain't no Drake fan. It don't matter. You need to study the field.
Facts. There's a psychology behind the whole thing. On the surface, there's music, there's this, there's that. But underneath it...
But them niggas in Atlantic, them niggas at Kaiser, them niggas in motherfucking Atlantic and Columbia, they know the science behind popping somebody. The Lil Nas X and Bad Baby and how they move this shit. Bad Baby was signed to Atlantic when she was 14, 15, before the Dr. Phil shit. I'm watching Adam 22, No Jumper. I'm watching his live one night, and he's mad, going off. So he's like on some drunk random shit because they dropped him about the sex allegations, some shit about rape. It's crazy how the fuck he got a rape woman. He's got Pornhub videos. It's crazy how that. But he might do it. Ain't no telling. He probably a sick fuck. I don't know that crap. I just fuck with what he's doing for hip hop culture. But this dude here, he goes on a rant. He's talking about Bad Baby and she's been signed for 5 years. I'm like, whoa, that don't add up. She's not even 20 yet. So she was, hold on. So she was signed before the doctor. Then that put me onto the gimmicks that they do. Then that's when he was talking about the YBN Namir is supposed to be beefing with Tay K. This at the time when TK was doing this shit. And I'm listening to Adam rant, and Adam, what he's talking about, it made me really, really pay attention. These managers and these regulators will set up situations to make it look like you're getting popular, you're doing this, you're doing that. Meanwhile, they're manipulating your own vision. You just want to rap. Now that you're not rapping no more, they got you beefing with a nigga like 6ix9ine or a nigga like TK. Now you're trying to be that nigga, and you're not about that because you just come from rapping. But now they put tattoos on your face, and you don't want to do that. I watched an interview, Starlito's stepbrother, or he called stepbrother Don Tripp. I watched an interview when he was talking about how Cool and Drake wanted him to do that similar shit. That's not for the artist, that's not what you want. Right. You want to make sure you put your vision out, but some people, like you say, they're stuck in the studio, so that vision stays there and secluded, or they got puzzle pieces, they don't know how to put it together yet. Mm-hmm. So certain people are intricate. That's why I hear people talking about there's no need for a manager, and there's no need for, you're right, I don't give a fuck about doing none of this shit. I'll stay at home playing games, going to work, going to the gym, chilling. I don't give a fuck about nothing. I don't care. Hollow just know he got a confidence in me, like, bro, nobody cares and nobody does as much homework as you, bro. So I know when you figure it out, you're going to have it down pat. And that's what I'm studying now. But just to have the passion about this shit, that's why you got to go harder. Some people don't have the passion, don't even care about none of this shit. But if you're going to sit in the studio and you're never going to get your artwork out, you need somebody like you, somebody like me, bro, who will be like, hey, man, this is what we need out to the world. Or we need to put these certain track lists together and let people hear this shit. A lot of people won't be trying to hear just a random song here and there. Some people need to hear a full body of work from you. So stop telling me to drop the song that you just recorded. Like, yeah.
Put some promo behind it. Get some artwork behind it. Build it up. Give it days. You know, don't just drop it.
Because now it's a lot easier to promo than it was back in the day. Mm-hmm. Because there's so many people filtering, but you can go direct to somebody inbox, even though they might not see it. But you can go direct to the Boosie inbox or whoever inbox. Back in the day, you have to spend. Rich on the Quan on that damn interview, he was like, man, they spent $100,000 on the song, man, you gotta do this and that. Quan said, fuck, he got drunk, he was drunk, he did a little dance, and that's what made the song take off, him going viral doing that dance and that. I'm like, damn. But they spent $100,000 with DJs and radios, and people don't think about this. That's your contract, some people's contracts are $100,000. And people don't recoup the $100,000. I think Vince Staples is a young, smart rapper. He says it costs him $80,000 to do an album. He probably recoups that in 2 weeks. Mm-hmm. He makes that way more than on 20. He's not in the 360. No disrespect to the Migos and QC. I love what they're doing, but anybody on QC is usually signed a solid foundation, which is a management team, owned by the same 2 people. That's what you call a 360. Right. They're getting paid off your touring, your merchandise, everything. That's called a 360. Yes, they're getting money, but I tell people 360 is not bad. That's like a nigga having a trap with no dope, or that's like a nigga having all the dope and going to find a little nigga who ain't got nothing going. I put a nigga in a trap, I get a nigga the heroin, I get a boy the fentanyl, I get a boy the cocaine, I get a boy the drug. He on deck with all the packs, he got everything going for himself. So this nigga right here tell me, hey bro, I done brought in 40 bands for the money. I say, good, huh? There go your 5, I'll take 35. What you mean, bro? You can't tell me what I mean, because before you met me, you ain't had nothing. You ain't had no spot, you ain't had nothing. So you making $5,000 a month, what you would have made this money if you ain't made me? I may say, you're right, you make that little money and we know about your business. You ain't seen $5,000 all month, nigga. You ain't seen $5,000 all year. Stop lying, stop crying. Mm-hmm. That's why 360, and that's my best way to break it down to somebody on the street level, or just a regular type person trying to figure some shit out. Just because that's how some shit is. People think 360, oh, they gonna fuck me out my money. No, not if your product is good, they're gonna work you. Look what they did with City Girls. Look what they did with a lot of their artists. They're doing it with young Duke. They doing it with a lot of their artists. It's dope, but I wouldn't tell nobody don't do a 360. I tell Hollow sign a 360, but we're going hell on, because you signed a 360 when you're 19, 20, 21. With all the shit that's in the music industry that's got accessibility to now, follow Russ. Look up Russ. The white boy Russ is giving you the Sicilian white, whatever you want to call him. The white boy Russ is giving you nothing but fucking game. I'm studying the white boy my damn self. That nigga there has got stupid money. He's getting paid 5 times when he drop an album. He's the producer, he's the engineer, he made the beat, he's got 5, I've never heard of this, he had 500% of his publishing and royalties or some shit. That's crazy. He gets paid 5 different checks. That's when you own all of your shit, all in out. That dude Russ is giving game. A lot of people tell you, well, no, bro, I ain't never heard, no one listen to that Cracker Russ. That Cracker Russ doing probably about 5,000 people at a venue, $40 a ticket by himself, only him. No opening acts, just him. Say what you want about him, say what you want about the music. Motherfuckers going hard. So that's why I tell people, man, when you want to do this shit, man, I'm learning myself. Somebody was coming to 360, I tell them, hell yeah, bro, we signing this bitch right now, let's do it. But at the rate we're at, bro, we already making our own merchandise. And I told Hollow, if you could make 1,000 t-shirts printed up, to print up 1,000 t-shirts, it might cost us, bro, damn near $1,200, $1,300. But if you print up 1,000 t-shirts and you sell them at $25 to $30 a piece, you're making $25,000 to $30,000 a year. Some people minimum wage only make $22,000 a year.
Right.
And we're talking that's on top of working your job. Then you take that same shit, you put the same $1,200, $1,300 back into it, and you make that same again. It's just like selling dope. And people don't think about that. When they see Nipsey with his marathon shit, you know, that's how he started. He started by printing up t-shirts first, and that's how he made it. You take the money, you reinvest it back into the shit. A lot of people don't think like that. They want to get their music out SoundCloud. And I see people getting away from printing up CDs and shit like that. Like, bro, nowadays, true enough, a lot of cars don't have CD players, but how many people around 2018, 19? Bitch still running around that Buick. Say what you want. But I still got a CD player my shit. Say what you want, like, you feel me?
I got one too.
This got an 05 Impala around this bitch. Say what you want. Bitch still around some raggedy shit. But that's why I know, man, that's why I tell people, man, if you ain't passionate about some shit, man, there's no sense in doing it because the day that you're gonna make a profit, you're gonna feel like, oh my God, this ain't doing that. Or they'll post a video, it only got 1 view. The day we get this done and edit and post it, bro, I'm gonna share it every damn day for a week until the next video drop. I'm sure that one every day for a week. Right. Then I'm gonna let it be and build. I go back and listen to old Joe Rogan podcasts now that I never heard.
Fire.
Never heard.
Fire.
Like, bro, man, especially like, I heard the John Witherspoon episode before he passed, and just, you know, like, when he passed, it probably went up another 700,000. Because people want to hear a whole conversation with him. People don't think about that shit. They just think about, oh, I'm putting my shit out now, I better get X amount of views and likes. Man, it be hoes going back, looking back on the pictures and shit, heart and shit, liking shit. I'm like, damn, that's from a long time ago. I do the same thing on females' page. On some chicks, I go back like, damn, she was bad in 2017. She bad now.
I'm dead.
What? I'm telling you, but that's what I learned though, man. So I wasn't too worried. I tell people, man, don't worry about just trying to get the right now gratification. Oh, I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I know I got 1 million views in a day. That shit, you might only have a million 10 by the time the money end out, because that's all you got. Niggas don't even care about looking at that shit. Like, you don't even, you got your couple of views, niggas don't even care about looking at that shit. But that's what I tell people, if you ain't passionate, that's why I'm trying to be consistent and passionate with this shit, man, because I can sit here and talk shit for hours, but you talking 40 for the hour. Bitch, I can't talk that motherfucker long. God damn, bitch. I'm running out of breath. Bitch. But my dog shit, but it's worth it, man, because you want to come and get some shit like this, man. It's definitely worth it for it. That's what I'm into it. And I'm just trying to, first episode, make it be what it is, man. Just talk some shit. I'm trying to do these at least once a week. I'm trying to give them once a week, being consistent, bro. I'm going to do at least once a week, unless some other shit come up and I want to get it done because a holiday coming, and that'll be a special week drop too. I'm going to have special guests in here coming along as I'm dealing with people. Hopefully have Hollow Tip on this motherfucker, man. By the 10th episode, we'll have 10 toes on this motherfucker. We'll have him and Cineo. That's our moniker. We run with the whole 10 gimmick. Because I tell you, it's just smart. You stick with 10. 10 tracks on your album. 10, just 10, man. And it'll pick up later on in life, man. It's just smart shit. That's why I dropped pancakes and donuts on my social media. Because people, just for somebody to associate me with something. I already call myself Fat Boy. It's already a nickname. So, damn. And if you see somebody else drop those right there, like put it on the comment, like, I've had people tag me like, hey bro, you know this nigga? Like, nah, like nigga said something like, just cause he put a donut in a line of food, the nigga thought it had something to do with me. I'm like, nah bro, it's actually emoji. I don't own the fucking emoji, I don't own it. I just associate it with myself. And I learned that from watching DJ Academics. He used to, when Beyonce Beehive, her fans, instead of putting 100, oh my God, I love Beyonce, they just put bees in the comments. DJ Academic was doing that with Scorpion. And they would troll Drake so hard, put Scorpion on his comments for DJ Academics. You see what Drake did with his album. He wore a Scorpion jacket, called it Scorpion. You can't troll harder than that. But it's smart because one hand washes the other. For all the people that hate me, those comments made my algorithm numbers go up. Thank you, Academics. This is a nod. Let me troll you some more. People think, oh, no, this and that. Academics and nobody's a guy who sits in the room. Look, that motherfucker Academics got money. You talking, just call him a lame squad, bro. You know, like I know what those numbers do. That motherfucker making money, and that's just on his one YouTube. That's not even on his Twitch, who has 500,000 people a night. Some TV shows don't have that shit. But I tell people all the time, when you sit here and you trying to get your numbers up every day, you want to do this and that shit ain't gonna work. That's why this first episode just me rapping, talking shit. Next week, man, hopefully I'm gonna be consistent, man. Well, I'm going to be consistent with it next week, man. I'm guest.
Yeah, put it in the atmosphere. You're gonna be
consistent. Yeah, and that's what I learned. Put that shit out there. Now, one thing I learned too, man, what I like about social media, if I say I'm gonna do some shit, I always stand on it regardless. But if I say I'm gonna do some shit, I'll make sure a motherfucker know. I'll make sure a motherfucker know that I'm definitely gonna do exactly what the fuck I said I'm gonna do. And that's why if I've said I'm gonna do it and I don't do it, like, damn, man, something had to happen, or just my own time falling through my work, because I'm always consistent with what I say. But I have my co-host with me next week, man. Definitely be surprised for some of y'all, because some of y'all probably won't see this shit coming, some will see it. I don't know, I'm thinking about a female I want to bring in here that I definitely want to have like on a consistent basis, because it's good to have another voice of opinion or certain shit. But then also like, man, shit, sometimes, man, you just need to keep it a certain way. Yo, and really shit's about them shit. I've been on like 20, 25 minutes, but that'll work. Bet. Brother calling out here on shit. Them niggas don't want shit to get on duty. You need to see this podcast. You niggas want to get on Call of Duty and motherfucking play 2K, man. And you hoes trash. Hey, shout out John Carter too, man. Y'all get that John, man. This man is trying to really do something with the city, man. He's trying to get these tournaments going. And it's smart, bro, because if you see what's going on with they call it the e-sport, but what you see what's going on with this shit, man, it's getting really big, man, to where the point you see kids are making so much money on tournaments, and the Fortnite kid makes $6 million off a tournament, and you were telling that little boy to go shoot.
Facts. You don't know how many times my parents, aunts, and all that told me, so you ain't gonna make no money off no game.
I would have murked me a bitch and Killer Instinct. Let them have a competition. I would have been at Gas and Killer Instinct. Man, shit like that. And just to know that somebody, that's why I'm putting myself in this podcast and shit. And I just got my own Twitch as well. That way I can start putting myself, because my homie was like, bro, people want to see you, bro. He's like, bro, people enjoy you talking shit. And I tell people all the time, man, this shit right here, bro, I don't be talking about a damn thing. And my homeboy tell me all the time, he's the one that definitely got me want to go on shit like this. But I see just from the entertainment, bro, you never know people who entertain. Some people have the same ideas and the same mindset that you have, and you never know if you don't put yourself out there and engage in those comments and shit like that. Certain shit like that I just need to get to, man. And shit, man, let me actually get to an actual subject on this motherfucking list that I had, bro. I was already rapping, getting all across the this, but this is the actual introduction. My only motherfucking shit was, I had a few things on this motherfucker, but I can save for the next episode. I definitely want to get to this shit though, man. Every hood has a hood delicacy. As far as mamas, non-ladies, picker size, like I was speaking on earlier, man. I'm from Fort Myers. This is the Fort Myers podcast. I'll speak a lot about Fort Myers. So if you're from Atlanta, Georgia, you from Lansing, Michigan, you from Omaha, Nebraska, Arkadelphia, Texarkana, Durham, Arkansas, you from Little Rock, you from Kansas City, I'm trying to shout out some more hoods, East St. Louis, bitch. You from Port Arthur, Texas, bitch. You from Shreveport, Baton Rouge, bitch. On the way from Alabama, Mobile, bitch. You from Cashville, bitch. You from Vallejo, California. I'm trying to, wherever you from, nigga. Seattle, Washington, wherever you from. We from Fort Myers. But every hood has a hood delicacy. And everybody knows if you whip together sugar, water, and Kool-Aid of any of your flavor likers, it'll be great. But if you stick it in the freezer, it'll be even greater. Every hood has one. Here in Fort Myers, we like to call them lemon dillies. I was fucked up my first time in Texas. I heard somebody call them a flip. I said, what the fuck is a flip? Oh man, they good, he flip them over, no juice at the bottom. That sound like some country shit. I told a nigga they call them lemon dillies. A nigga said, what the fuck is a lemon dilly?
Yeah, I'm on the flip. I'm on the flip side.
Where you from?
I'm from Georgia though.
See, you from Georgia. My homeboy, see, they from up that way. And that's what they call them, flips, icy cups.
I got the icy cups too.
Yeah, icy
Lily
cups.
Dillies threw me off when I heard it the first time.
And my thing, I don't know where it came from. I just know we had a Lily Dilly store. I grew up in the Michigan Projects. There was a lady named Miss Mona. Miss Mona used to have Lily Dillies. I knew for $1 I could get me a bag of these little pink flower. You remember little cookies you used to put on your finger, the pink flower? Hey, niggas was fat growing up.
At every grandma house.
You hear me? So this lady named is Mona, Michigan, man. She like, you go there, spend $1, you get you a bag of chips, get you a debit cake, you get you some the butter cookies, you put it on the face.
Juice box, a little hug.
We used to get a little Lily Dilly. We used to get for $0.25 Lily Dilly. Mine was my favorite, all the blue Lily Dillies and the pineapple Lily Dillies, because they had real fruit in them. Boy, the ones with the real fruit, boy, listen, boy. Nowadays, my fat ass look for anything with that bitch.
Where I'm from, all of them had fruit in it.
My ad, man, see, you from Georgia, they had peach preserves and fresh walnuts where you sell them by the bone. I know, but people from Arkansas, yes sir, ain't nothing better than some peach preserve like on some apple toast or cranberry toast type shit or just regular toast. Preserve ain't nothing like jam and jelly. That's a preserve, bitch. That's what I'm telling you. That shit right there was going.
Hey, take me back. Some moonshine.
And if you ain't never drunk no moonshine, boy, I advise you not to, but I advise you to have 8 glasses in your life. But I advise you not to. I advise you heavily not to, boy, because that bitch, boy, listen, the bitch gonna have you on your motherfucking ass, boy. Listen, moonshine.
Just sniffing it.
Boy, some buck, I'm my homeboy. I'm in Arkansas, I'm in Gurdon, Arkansas, man. My homeboy tell me, come on with him to the back. I'm coming to the back. You can smell it like it's in the air. This man had a fish tank dug in the ground with like 20 trash bags with all kind of shit in it. He opened that bitch up, poked a hole and like put like a nose on that bitch. Man, this nigga poured that shit came like clear as motherfucking day. That shit smelled like straight top, I don't know what it, but it would have like a little sweet tang sweat, man. Man, listen, one swig hit you. Boy, I ain't had facial that time with the Arkansas, boy. That shit done. One swig, it hit you, boy, I'm telling you. Don't let it be from some old nigga named Ray or some old. Don't let it be from an old nigga named Bernard or Charles.
And then he laugh when you say give him some.
Boy, that gonna put some chest on you, young man. That's gonna put some chest on you. Boy, some hair on your chest, boy. I'm telling you, young man. Boy, don't let an old nigga tell you no shit like that. Hey, and if an old nigga tell you don't do that, boy, don't do that. Boy, I'm telling you, boy. What Dave Chappelle say, don't do that, get you 5 or 10.
Yeah. Hell. You hear that nigga.
Boy.
Listen to him.
Boy, listen, boy, that'll get you 5 or 10. But man, I definitely tell people all the time, we have a hood dealers in here in Fort Myers, and that's just shit we did. Like, we go to the Lily Dilly store, and that's why I need to call it Lily Dilly, because they call it Lily Dilly store. That's what made me say, okay, well, I'm finna go get a Lily Dilly. So when I went there, I'm like, oh, damn, see what it is. Just being as a kid. I was born in Detroit, but we came out here when I was like 6, 7 months. All I ever known was Fort Myers in my entire life. So knowing this shit, I'm like, damn, that's what it is. I leave for the first time 4 miles years later. I'm like, damn, they call them flips, icy cups, shit like that. I'm like, what the fuck? He Lily Dilly. So it just fucked my head up. That's why I tell people to be like Lily Dilly there. So when nigga hear Lily Dilly, they know that strictly mean 4 miles. Like when you hear plies, you can't think, but any nigga from anywhere else, but like, what the fuck does plies mean? And if you from plies, you know that's short for grip plies, the real grip plies. That's why this also been called Pickled Chronicles, because I want to have a couple people come in and tell y'all some of these hood legends that we got from around Fort Myers, like about the real original grip plies, the real Ronnie Tate, the real Larry White thing, you feel me? About some of these boys who really had it, you feel me? Real clans back then, man, Meal Dog, them, how them boys really had shit, even though it went sour, like, everybody know about the tape in Fort Myers, and if you're not from Fort Myers, people know it's called the tape, bro, and it's an audio recording of a guy getting information for another guy, indicting himself, basically. But and those are part of Hood Chronicles. And this dead and gone, a lot of shit be over. I don't know nigga beef with that, but I just also want to get those stories out to the world and told. If I have to step toe to toe with somebody, have an understanding or a misunderstanding, let it be what it be. But I believe that some of these Hood Chronicles we have, I'm calling Pickled Chronicles, need to be told. These are some stories that will never be told to the world, people will never see. And I think these are very dope stories. Some of the wildest stories you hear, as far as like Rick Ross mentioned Fort Myers in his Hurricane book 6, 7 times. He ain't tell a lot of real stories because I heard street stories about vans getting flipped and shit by other shit. So I'd love to have like some certain OG come in, man. I got some people who just connected to a couple of people, man. People, some people know my dog EJ was an OG around it. Some people know how close I was to E and all the little situation went and all that little shit. And that's why I said I want to call it Pickled Chronicles because we definitely get some of those stories out and get some shit done, bro. Cause there's like I said, well, you from Georgia, man, and I'm pretty sure, like, you know why they really call that man Pastor Disaster. Like, nah, for real, people don't understand, like, you probably heard about them stories about Shawty Lowe before. These people don't really know, like, Shawty Lowe was really that nigga, like, you probably seen the BMF shirt growing up. These niggas don't know the real story about that shit, bro. I got people from Detroit who tell me, no, like, it was really like that.
Yeah, it was
like, it was, and people around here don't know. They don't understand what the RICO Act is and how Big Meech got fucked up because a nigga jumped a nigga in a big BMF shirt. That's how the whole indictment came down on them boys. People don't think about shit like that, and people just thinking, oh, Big Meech, he had enough. No, Big Meech was on some real shit, and as far as unifying the hood, the man was on some other shit. He didn't get took down because, no, he didn't want to work with the feds type shit. And so many people be solid, man, and much as we look at the Free Ray Rick Ross and a lot of these dudes, man, Free Ray Rick Ross ain't take the stand on no nigga. He took the stand on the police that went against him. Same thing with like Frank Lucas and shit like that. They see these American gangster stories, but mind you, the real the man from Paid in Full, the real outlaw walking the streets right now, nigga untouched. My niggas be talking all that shit. That shit from Charlamagne said the streets is a myth. It really is, bro. Like Jay-Z said it. George Zimmerman around here. You hear me? But y'all will kill X over some other shit. And I got a whole conspiracy episode I'll drop on that shit, man, because I really think, say what you want. I think Drake is the most gangstest nigga in the motherfucking game because he'll kill a nigga and he'll rap about it. I don't care what nobody say. Niggas say triple X, shoot below the neck. I don't, that shit coincide with too much. I'm watching a video of a beam of a key getting shot in the chest. Looks just similar. Or what do they say? NCAA says you can't use our likeness. Likeness, it's a key with a likeness. It's just kind of crazy. But people are like, oh, they ain't got nothing. If you knew about what some of these people in the industry were kind of doing, you never know. Look at Nicki Minaj. Brother's a whole fucking child molester out here. She was probably funded to have this man in the mansion somewhere. Paid for his lawyer. Like, type shit. But meanwhile, in that situation, do you take your family over fame? You take your family. I'm defending. I don't care if my cousin went and blew up a school. I'm gonna give him the best lawyer he can get. I'm still my cousin. We grew up eating lily dinners together. But bitch, you blew up a school, bitch. God damn, you a sick dog. I'm not writing you, bitch. I'm not gonna write you, bitch. And I'm not letting this money get no trace of me. But just knowing shit like that, man, that's why I tell people, man, it's a lot of shit that be deeper than rap, man. I just want to get a lot of those stories out, man, and just talk about shit that sometimes be deeper than rap, man. And that's why I tell people, man, it's gonna be called Pickled Chronicles, man. We got a couple more guests gonna be coming on these motherfuckers that I got planned on coming. I don't want to be a guest-based podcast. People are like, oh my God, man. In fact, we got another bitch on there that's gonna carry the show. Because one of my favorite podcasts is Bill Burr, and this is a man talking for an hour and a half straight by his fucking self. Bill Burr is amazing. That motherfucker, that's a stand-up every week he gives. It's amazing. We'll get into some sports picks, man. Tonight, well, by the time this drop, it'll be later, but tonight's returning Zion. He'll be hitting the court in about a minute. It's crazy to see a kid like that. He made more money before he signed the actual NBA contract off shoe contract than the Greek Freak has made to this day. And the Greek Freak is definitely proven. He's not only proven, he's proven to be the next. If not, because I won't say now, because you got KD fucked up. You got LeBron fucked up.
Facts.
But he's proven to be the next. I give him that. I like the kid from Tampa or Sarasota, Alfredi, that plays for the Trailblazers. He's only 20 years old. He just turned 22 days ago. That motherfucker, yeah, he came from AMI or some shit like that. Yeah, he's the first kid. Puma's smart. I like that what Puma did. Puma's got the basketball program, so you ain't gotta go to college. You Puma little bullshit for a year, but the intern, they only accept like 10 or 20. So if you're not top 10 going to the NBA and you just don't want to do college, ain't no sense going. Kid was top. He's the best. He went to AMI. He was better than Bronny. He's a fucking beast. To know somebody doing like that, he's playing with the Trailblazers right now. The other night, Damian Lillard dropped 60-something. The kid had 13 assists. That got overlooked. That got overlooked. Damian Lillard, damn time, that motherfucker dropped 60 on him. And bro, it wasn't no easy 60. He really pulled up, slapped the man's hand down, and reached back and popped him. I've never seen no shit like that. He's going into him. He bad back. When his hand came up to defend, he slapped it down and then popped his shot. That's some other shit. Dame wants some other shit. And he's getting, because the West is supposed to be the tough and all that. But, and even though we may get a little bit of sports talk, man, I don't get too heavy into it. I don't get paid like ESPN and none of that shit. You niggas ain't gonna be on the 10. I'm whacking on one anyway. Y'all ain't gonna buy Emmitt Williams jerseys when you go to the league. No way, some fucking niggas. Real talk. I'm about 2 of them bitches. Your boy, that's crazy. We got a nigga from Fort Myers getting ready to go to the league and he gets no support. I won't say none. I would say the hood should be on his dick the way we on Sammy Watkins did. Straight up. Because we on Sammy dick. And I love Sammy Watkins. Bug is a damn great dude. I've met him 2-3 times. He's always been, he's funny as a little motherfucker, cool as fuck. I'm riding, cracking jokes because he know my homework pretty well. But Emmitt Williams is a kid that we haven't had a basketball player coming out of Southwest Florida big like that. And the other girl, I forgot her name, she played for South Carolina, Henderson. Destiny on the thing. It's slipping my mind right now, but we don't get support enough athletes from Southwest Florida that are doing real big shit. We don't even support Plies, who's a fucking rap legend. Frank Linder be on the corner chilling. He be in the studio chilling. You niggas don't even respect that man who's a legend. That's why I tell niggas, you keep grinding and working. Niggas don't care. They don't give a fuck about what you doing or what you keep grinding and working.
And then they're gonna think it's an overnight success, but you don't realize in the background you was working.
Meanwhile, niggas who never heard Plies think that's Plies' first little shit going on. He was pushing shit for a long time, getting shit going. We don't give the man his homage. To how he's savvy enough to let the internet rebirth his career twice over again. To 3 times, if you might say. Because the IG level he's on now, where he's the IG quotable guy, he's the guy you go to the funny videos for, and he's making funny shit, to where he uses IG to sample his music and be smart about how he gets his shit going, to where he going steps further back, that ran off with the plug twice, meaning taking off. He's rebirthed his career through the internet. He's smart. People aren't doing that. They're not giving him homage or props for that shit. A lot of these motherfuckers, that's why I said our Fort Myers, boy, we some hating motherfuckers, boy. We hate to see it. We hate to see a bitch hating harder than us. You can't tell me bitch LeBron was garbage. Nigga, Mike was garbage too then. Nigga be trying to hate each other like a motherfucker, boy. That shit, that crazy. That's why this shit Pickled Chronicles, man, because next week, man, y'all see my dog gonna be on this bitch, and conversations we probably gonna have be heated, arguing, be by, boy, we'll tear this bitch up. But just even with speaking with him, just it's great to have different perspectives, because I don't want people to think I don't want to take Jake, and you gotta understand just my take is the best, and I don't know shit, bro, because I really get your opinion on shit, bro, and it's just shit we rap about, shit like that. And that's it, man, shit like that. And before I leave, though, man, I get off on the other shit, man, I want to tell people all the time before I leave, this is my famous saying, and I'm trying to quote this motherfucker. Stop taking input from motherfuckers who's not putting it in. That's a quote I'm gonna live on. Cause you would take advice from somebody who won't even give you a dime. Hey man, you should take the bus over here, but the bitch won't give you a dollar to get on the bus to get there. Don't take too much input. And I heard Jay Black say once before, hey, great advice don't cross the price. Great advice is great. I totally understand and I respect it. But bitch, you can't tell me what to do with my artwork and how much I should sell my artwork for, and where I should put my podcast if you're not helping me buy the canvas. If nigga ain't putting $20 down on the podcast type shit. That's why, no offense to the other people would have talked, but if they would have came in, we got busted down $20 then. We would $5 a piece. Y'all, and no disrespect, but it's, if y'all want to push this, then you have input on what I'm doing. And I don't want nobody to have no creative differences besides me and you on the editing, what we were talking about, because that's the business between us. And that's why I tell people all the time, do good business. I wasn't the earliest, I had to run do some shit, but I try to be on time or a little early. I try to be 10, 15 minutes early, I try to be even earlier than that as possible, but nigga, we niggas, man, we on CP time. We on CP time, color people time around this bitch. Shout out Solange, man. We on motherfucking color people time. But I tell people all the time, man, just do good business. I see a lot of that shit go around in Fort Myers. People don't do good business. And they'll let that right there fuck around with their name. I see a couple people name getting slandered in the comments. Say what you want. That one comment section with 4 people bad mouthing your product, that turned down probably 20 different opportunities you had. I didn't say money. Money and opportunities are 2 different fucking things. Do not get that misconstrued. Charlemagne the God said a very great quotable in his book, every opportunity does not come with a check behind it, which is great. The man worked for a radio station for 13 years for free. Yes, he got women bored from when he was in the husband and all that shit, but look at the bullshit he went through and look at all the shit. It ain't like a nigga had brand new J's and nigga be like, bro, you can record here today. Oh yeah, meanwhile I gotta stay, I gotta make sure I clean this. Man, that's a damn near slavery, but look, you can never pay for that experience as well. Versace didn't go to designer school. Versace was a protege. So basically, him being a protege, he was taught the game. He didn't have to go to designer school. You got people going to designer school who can't make shit nowhere near what Versace was making. Mm-hmm. It's crazy. That's why I tell people, sometimes you do need that, but when you're apprenticeship, and bro, for somebody to go to a school and learn what you know here, that's stupid. You got it here. I'd rather pay you to know what you know here. Mm-hmm. They're giving the game. People don't do that shit, man. That's why I say, man, with the shit that y'all doing here, bro, you're building like a compound. This shit is dope. And you're doing good business. That's why I tell people do good business, because the last thing you want is somebody to be slandering your name. Oh man, I went there, man, he didn't have the mic ready. Man, I had to go buy a microphone, I had to go buy chairs. It's like, why? Do good business. I've seen it happen multiple times. The way the guys got the studio set up downtown, man, right downstairs, you guys can do a lot of different things, man. They got amazing little shit going on here, but if you niggas ain't trying to pay the price to do it, you gonna cry about the shit. Hey, I was told I was a crybaby ass manager, I cried about $80. I told a nigga, it wasn't about these $80 I'm crying about. It was about the previous 800 motherfucking dollars.
When you start accepting it now, you might as well start accepting for the rest of your life.
You hear me? It's being a doormat. Once it say welcome, bitch, that's when you're always gonna keep welcoming the bullshit walking over you. I definitely learned a lot of that shit, man. That's why I tell people growing up, man, I seen niggas do bad business, and that right there got people touched. Do good business. You buying dope for this price, you gonna settle for that? Do that. Don't buy it, cut it, try to sell it to someone, do some more. That's what's fucking these streets up with the fentanyl shit. They fucking up all this shit on some deeper shit, bitch. They got Chinese shit set up, motherfucking pharmaceutical labs set up in Mexico and some other shit. When I'm watching Joe Rogan podcast, bro, the Fed dude, the cartel that was in the cartel, he's talking about how those fentanyl factories and shit are being set up by Japanese, Chinese companies. That ain't even Mexican shit. But the Mexican cartels getting in on it so good that they're making it. because they're damn near tripling their profits off the shit. Meanwhile, bro, you never want to kill off your clients. Pepsi know that if you keep drinking Pepsi for 50 years, you'll die. We want to make it enough to where you're going to come back. So you're not going to kill you. We're not going to kill you. You're going to kill yourself. But eventually, we're not going to feel bad about it because we made $1 million profit off it already. Meanwhile, nowadays, when nigga trying to get on the block, you said you were sacking that little fentanyl on that fucking dope man, you going to knock a nigga head off. Now they dead. Vein blown out, they dead. You ain't got no customer. I don't come from that. I come from trying to make sure the buddy came back. I wanted the best one drop. I wanted the buddy to hit this shit and be like, bitch, I'm coming. Bye. Where that fat boy at? Where's the fat kid? Where's he at? That's why I wanted to be. Nah, bitch, you killing the customer. I didn't think that's what business was on. That's why I tell people I got a hard time believing that many slaves came to America. When you know how many slaves died in between transporting, a businessman would not keep losing his cargo like that. It wasn't that many slaves. I tell black people all the time, stop telling me I came from slavery. You never heard of a sharecropper? You don't know what those Native Americans were doing in Wyoming. You don't know what they were doing in Idaho. You don't know what a indigenous black person is. And until you know those things, stop calling me a slave and stop saying we all came from kings. It's not like everybody wasn't a king, nigga. Everybody was not a king. There's a story that tells when Kunta Kinte, not Kunta Kinte, who was the leader of the Moors? I forgot his name. But basically the leader of the Moors who ran the Zulu nation, he said anything whites touched the shores would kill. The weak black folks, the weak niggas, the ones who was letting them come to shore. So that's why I tell everybody, there wasn't kings, there was peasants too, petty ass fuck niggas. So when you see a nigga be like, nah bro, we gonna stand on this nigga, we ain't gonna let nobody touch on the girls around us. And you see a nigga pull up in a high school trying to flirt with a little girl and you allow that to happen, you allow that to happen, you ain't standing on your morals and ethics. You one of them niggas that'll let the white people come to the motherfucking land. We ain't on that. That's why I tell people, you stand on it or you die by it. Only way that went over my dead body is really real, nigga. You either gonna kill me or I'm gonna die by this shit. A lot of people don't have morals and ethics these days, bro. They don't care because you'll see a nigga giving a homeless person money on IG. Why you just couldn't get a homeless person money? That's what it took me to get here, bro. I had to do some shit for an individual I don't know for nothing. I didn't put that on my Facebook, IG, Snap, no, I don't do shit like that. I ain't gotta disclose that here, bro. Just, I see an individual. I'm not that type of person, but I'm gonna put this all on. Cause that to me looks lame. And that to me looks like the weak individuals who don't stand on morals and ethics. That's why I tell people, stop saying we came from slaves and we was kings and all us wasn't fucking kings, bro. Some of you niggas was jesters, servants, peasants, peons. So know that your granddad, what a nigga said in How One, I come from a long line of pimps. My dad was a pimp, his dad was a pimp, his dad was a pimp. You come from a long line of side pimps. Your mama was a side bitch, oh boy, listen, that shit had me dying. That nigga that say side pimp, that nigga say your mama was a side bitch. Baby power. I tell niggas all the time, bro, if you don't know the difference in morals and ethics and what you stand on, then bro, you're gonna be pushed over in life and you'll easily be told, yeah, you come from slavery, because you're gonna get that witness mentality. Somebody's gonna tell you what you are, what you can, what you can't be. People say what they want about Kanye. I like what he's doing because he's standing with his own free thought. He doesn't look on social media and say, oh, everybody say fuck Trump, fuck Trump. If you're a business owner, any business person in America, you love Trump. He took the small black business loan from 38% to 22 or 24%. So if you got a $10,000 loan, $3,800, you ain't paying back. You just paying back $2,400. Them extra $1,100 is another seat in that barbershop, another grill in that kitchen. Say what you want, it's just more money in your company that you got to pay back with the interest. Niggas ain't thinking about shit like that. They just, look what that cracker said. Fuck what that cracker said. Look what the cracker doing. But if you're stuck on what he said, then you're going to be lost in the next presidency. That's why I like that nigga Derek Grace from Temple. That nigga be putting on a lot of games, the in-home banking shit. Reach one, the nigga knows a lot of shit. He's got a program called the post-Trump era. He's already trying to prepare people for after when Trump was gone. He's trying to get people prepared to financially be stable. That's why when I hear people say, I'm taking a real estate class. Niggas think just because they take a real estate class and they finna go sell a house, they finna go buy a property and say, no, you're not. You gotta get the money, get a loan, unless you got started money already. A lot of that shit don't happen. A lot of it don't happen, bro. It's another scheme, bro. And people like, no, it ain't. It's the same thing as getting you to take your dumb ass to college. Unless you're gonna learn the trade or learn something that can make you money the next 365, there's no sense in going through a lot of this shit. Half the curriculum is bullshit. I ain't used Pythagorean theorem my whole life. I don't know what A times B times C is yet. I know what trajectory is, cause I gotta learn how to drive and shit like that. But a lot of shit you learn is bullshit. And if you're gonna spend your time on something, at least make sure that you can at least monetize from it or it's a passion. Like, I see motherfuckers bullshitting all the time about, I'm finna go to school for real estate. If you can't talk to nobody, true enough, you might be a great learner and study. But if you can't talk to an individual selling something, if you can't sell water to a well, you're not gonna sell a house. You're just not. It don't matter what you are. You could be the most savage person, unless you're a beautiful person or a handsome looking man who's somebody just eager to give you their money. People tend to have those ways about it. But you're not gonna sell it. You ever went to a car lot like, damn, man, you're a great salesman. That nigga, some people are really made to sell some shit. Some people have to get the gab, silver tongue, whatever you wanna call it. But if you just take real estate classes and you're already in the back of the class, you don't participate in shit, how you gonna get out into the market and sell some shit? Unless you're just the dopest bitch at doing your backwork homework and giving somebody the best house they want, how are you gonna, and that's why I don't understand when people are like, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that, and man, you gonna go take a real estate class and you don't know how to even hold a conversation. You can't even sell a product that you have now. There's no sense in doing none of that shit. That shit be a waste of money. That's why I tell people, don't waste your money on going to school. I'm finna go to be a nurse. Yeah, you ain't gonna try to get a license so you can open up your own nursing home and shit like that. You just wanna be a nurse. People think it stops with a degree or it stops with that shit. I went to school for this. That shit don't mean shit. You know what I mean, motherfuckers? You know the people who don't have degrees who are way more successful with people with degrees because they learn to do it without and do it with less, the entrepreneurship type shit.
Right.
You went to school for this shit, bro, learn this shit, but you can sell this same game to somebody. You can't go teach nobody how to be a nurse. You gotta be certified for that. You can teach somebody this and they'll go get their own tripod shit, start off small and start and build and build. That's game. You can't build off telling somebody, oh, this is how you sell a house. You need a real estate license. You can't do that. So you don't want to take all this bullshit for some other shit. But I don't know nothing because I'm not in real estate. I don't know nothing. I don't do hair. I don't know nothing, bitch. Hey, I just chase hoes and tote fire. I don't know nothing, bitch. I don't do a fuck thing. But I tell people all the time, like, don't waste your time in life trying to do some other shit up. Nothing wrong with a 9 to 5. If you ain't stealing from your job, do not be giving that shit. Motherfuckers be dedicated to their job. Go to work late every day. Call off once a week. It don't fuck that job. They done made 30 times the budget off of you that they're gonna pay you by the time the 2 weeks up. It's crazy. I see people go through this shit, man. People will kill themselves to make sure they don't work on time. Meanwhile, that job don't give a fuck about your kids having a broke foot and you trying to get in there to pick them up for their soccer game. Them schools don't care. Them big ass corporations, they don't give a fuck. That's why I tell them, bitch, you better live your life and bitch, live how you want to, bitch. But G shit, man. Hey, man, this right here been a great episode, man. Just beginning the most. We try to get it, man. My boy said, police outside, they gonna wrap me up, man. Oh, this nigga texted me 30 minutes ago, said wrap it up. See, you trying to be discreet about it. Shit, just tell me. Yeah, bitch, I had some snacks to eat anyway. Just tell me. I had some snacks to eat anyway. Yeah, but hey, man, this right here, Pickled, Chronicles, episode 1, man. I'll be back at y'all next week, man. We will have a guest on this motherfucker, man. Shout out my dog, man. Give me your accent, man. Let me know where you at.
At EX3 Network. Y'all make sure y'all go ahead and check that place out. We got the TV Nerds on there. Got my podcast, the EX3 podcast on there.
And introducing Pickle Sausage.
And Pickle Sausage just got added on to the team.
Yeah,
so
when I get my shit right, I have a YouTube link to be like, go to my page. You're going to bring the traffic algorithms up.
Boom.
Word of the week. Algorithm.
I'm going to show you.
Dope. Peace, man. We out this.